I'm Gary Byrne. I'm the author of Secrets of the Secret Service, Crisis of Character. I'm also doing a podcast with my co-writer, Grant Schmidt, for the books called Crisis of Character. And then I'm very proud of a second podcast I'm doing, Mission Redefined, with our friend Chris Nowak, Action Nowak. And Grant is actually producing that for us and doing all his technical magic wizardry for us. So today what I wanted to talk to you about is my least favorite subject, Mrs. Clinton. And so recently Grant and I were and we ran into this guy who I won't mention his name or anything, but he was in the final stages of being interviewed for a position in the Trump administration. Very nice guy. So anyway, he made it very clear to us in his interviewing with the Trump administration, and then he some of the people were also people connected with the Republican Party and other groups of people that like President Trump in office and are trying to keep him in office, of course. So, but they are convinced. This is the thrust. This is why we're doing this taping. Is they're convinced that Mrs. Clinton is going to run again. And when he said that to us, Grant kind of smirked, and I just rolled my eyes, and I'm like, no, there's no way. I said, clearly she's not that crazy. And he said, well, if anybody, basically understands how crazy he is, it would be me. And he's right. And two, the key thing here is that she's got $30 million left over from the last campaign. Now, typically politicians give that to their party, but again, we're talking about the Clintons and the Clinton machine. They don't give money to anybody. I mean, they've been accused of literally taking money from the poor people in Haiti after a disaster. So, separate subject. But anyway, so Mrs. Clinton may take this war chest and keep it from the Democratic Party to try to force her way back in to try to get elected for the third time. I mean, she's just not going to be happy till she pulls, a hat trick loser streak with the presidential. She got whooped by Barack Obama in 2008. And then President Trump whipped her in 2016, and, is she setting herself up again? Do I think that she's crazy enough to do it? I do. Ego-driven, yes. Do I think that she can find people that will help her do it? I do, because they're, like I mentioned, I used the word in the first book. I've used it many times, sycophant. They're out there. They no matter what she says or does, they push forward because they get paid, or they really do believe that she's a leader, which, contrary to that is everything else that you know about her, is that she's not a leader. So I'm not saying, I don't believe that she's doing it 100%. I'm going down the middle as I do a lot of times. I try to look at both sides. But the Republican Party and a lot of important people actually in the Democratic Party are afraid she is going to try to do it again. Or she's kind of holding the Democratic Party hostage, because aside from her having at least a $30 million, that's with an M, $1 million war chest, the Democratic Party, as of, this is the second week in April, is broke. They're out of money. They can't pay their bills. So she does kind of hold the purse strings that she could give to them and help them out, so they didn't look so not only defeated but ridiculous. So I hope I don't give anybody a panic attack or a seizure, but prepare yourself. Never say never. Never say that's too crazy, Gary, because we've seen it. Look what we've seen with the Clintons. I mean, don't forget during the 2016 campaign, while she was trying to describe President Trump, she actually barked like a dog on national TV. So, nothing after what I saw and what I wrote about in both my books, nothing would surprise me. So the Democratic Party has really put nobody seriously forward that you would take serious. I mean, they're floating different people. They floated Joe Biden, and listen, Joe Biden, in the words of a late night host comedian, I hope you do run, because it would be so funny to watch. What people don't really know about Joe Biden is that he's got a lot of issues. And if you spend some time looking on YouTube, there's many videos out there of Joe Biden. Every time he's around a woman, he's putting his hands on her, even to the point where we discovered a story while we were writing the second book, Secrets of the Secret Service, where he started groping an agent's wife at a Christmas party, to the point where the agent got himself in a jam because he slapped the vice president's hands away. So the idea that they might run Joe Biden, I would love to watch it. There's a couple other people that they've floated. I'm not sure how serious they are. But again, we're talking about the Clintons and the Clinton machine, and never say never when it comes to them. So I'm sure there'll be other people coming forward there that might run for the Democrats. But right now, the conservatives and Democrats that couldn't vote for Hillary Clinton in 2016 do believe that she might run again. So we'll see what happens, see if I'm right or if this gentleman was right, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much.